Alright, something I gotta begin because it's something rather regrettable. Not anything to do with this next episode, because given what we saw in the last part, I am excited for this part 2. But before we can dive in, I have some regrettable news. And that since my review of Stranger Than Fanfiction, my review of The Ending of the End Part 1 got hit with copyright claim. The review is still up as it is, but if you're wondering why there were 2 cuts out of the review that make no sense, that's the explanation, is that my last review got hit with copyright claim. And essentially, I had to cut out the joke where Cozy Glow basically is about to attack Twilight, and essentially I referenced the French taunter from the Monty Python, the Holy Grail, and that's why there's a missing joke. And essentially, I also cut out like the last half of the actual episode before the credits, where essentially the remainder of the main 6, Celestia, Luna, and Discord, try to hold back Tyrek, Cozy Glow, and Chrysalis, while I play the music from Ruby Volume 3, where Ruby encounters Mercury as they're about to announce that Pyrrha is about to go up against Penny. And obviously, because of those copyright claims, rather than trying to dispute the copyright claims and having to essentially get it dethroned and starting the review all over again, I basically just decided to cut it out of the review. So if you're wondering why I am a little annoyed with that, there's your answer. I would much rather cut the jokes out of the episode rather than just doing the whole thing all over again. But since I just showered, it's obviously time we're going to wrap this up. So let's look at part 2 of the ending of the end. So pretty much as before, we get our obligatory recap.
The princesses passed all their responsibilities on to you and your friends. You wanted to boost Twilight's confidence, so you brought that Chrysalis, Cozy Glow, and Tyrek to attack her? Discord was Rogar? You've been setting up challenges for us the whole time, haven't you?
My bad.
The ultimate battle for the fate of Equestria is coming. We'll hold until you get back.
Why, you fool?
Yeah, basically I forgot to mention that joke that Discord made at the end where essentially he referenced Lord of the Rings. So anyways, after the theme, things are looking pretty bleak as we do see that, well, the others ended up getting captured. Chrysalis, Cozy Glow, and Tyrek are pretty much taken over.
Won't that be fun?
Patience, Cozy. Destruction is so permanent. We need to show the rest of Equestria that we've broken their heroes first. Besides, we should have fun with our heroes.
No! We should hunt down Twilight Sparkle. As long as she's out there, she's dangerous.
Is that big, strong Minotaur that scared of one little pony? Relax. It's not like her friends are going anywhere. The fools brought the remains of my throne to Canterlot to protect themselves. Those shards block their magic. Careful, too close and the shards cancel even our powers. But on this side of the cavern, we're the most powerful beings in Equestria!
Oh yeah? Well, I have to say to that about that, Chrysalis.
I'll give him a real-world example if you unlock this fucking cell.
Thanks to Grogar's bell. Isn't that right, Grogar?
But pretty much kind of what Discord predicted, even though, and what we saw from the brief event, despite how well the 3 villains are working together, there's still the instances infighting as when Cozy Glow tries to take the bewitching bell.
What are you doing? You saw what happened when you tried to take Discord's chaos magic.
Yeah, but there's Abercorn Princess magic in there now, too. I could be so much more powerful if I just didn't have...
You mean you could be?
Hello? I'm the best one out of all of us. Nobody...
What are you talking about?
I think Tyrek has the biggest reaction. But yeah, in sense, despite the fact they pretty much brought the heroes practically to their knees, there basically still hints of them bickering and infighting, which is kind of what Discord predicted. So the main 6 try to the remainder of the main 6 and Spike try to compensate for a way to get out, but because basically of how sticky the cocoon that Chrysalis made, it's impossible for them to get out. And Discord actually does apologize and own up to the fact that all of this was his fault.
It made so much sense in my head. Twilight defeats her worst enemy filled with confidence. I truly did have the best intentions. I swear I'll make it up to you.
That's gonna need to be a pretty epic makeup.
And that's what he ends up doing, as while the three villains continue to fight and bicker yet again, and Discord decides to do a little persuasion.
Power over whole reality.
Yeah, and by basically persuasion, because essentially the three of them are fighting to still figure out how to control Discord's chaos magic, that essentially he'll try to use it.
You'd have to ask nicely and spare my friends.
No, Discord! This isn't the way to help! Discord, could you please...
Threats are more my speed.
I think that's pretty much every reaction to every time Cozy Glow speaks.
Speak! He's lying. He won't tell us. I certainly won't tell you after the way you lied to me last time we teamed up, you muscle-bound cretin. This cretting could destroy you before you blink, so choose your words carefully. You're right. Cretin is too polite. How about pathetic centaur, who uses magic to compensate for the fact that deep down he's afraid he'll never be enough to please dear old dad, King Borak?
Oh, that's a pretty sick burn. So naturally, Discord essentially uses the crystal reflection to cause T-Rex blasts of fire all over the place, and there's kind of battle scars.
You missed!
Who said that he was aiming for you?
Evo!
Who said he was aiming for you? So yeah, thanks to Discord's plan, he's able to free Starlight, as Starlight uses all of her magic to free everybody out of their cells, and we get to see a somewhat short-lived battle scene where essentially all the prisoners, minus the remainder of the main six and Spike, go to try to find Twilight.
We may not have our magic, but we are completely helpless. We'll hold them off as long as we can. That was a pretty epic makeup.
Just save Equestria and keep Fluttershy safe.
I like how Discord continues to prioritize Fluttershy. So essentially the remainder of the main six and Spike get inside Canterlot, where pretty much everyone's pretty much freaking out.
In the open. Hide!
Where is every pony?
The unicorns have been gathering at Celestia School of Magic ever since the attack. That's where I was headed when I saw you.
What about the Earth ponies in Pegasus?
Every pony for themselves.
That ain't right.
Well, you can all stand out here and debate. I'm going where I'm safe.
Coward! But yeah, this is essentially how far the distrust that Chrysalis, Tyrek, and Cozy Glow has gotten, where essentially now all the races of ponies, the Unicorn, the Pegasi, and the Earth ponies, are now essentially at each other's throats.
Telling the truth. They really have turned ponies against each other.
Yeah. Things don't get any better in Ponyville when they arrive, and the Earth ponies are basically kind of a bunch of dicks.
We don't have unicorn magic to protect us. We're sitting in the sky to hide it like those cowardly Pegasi.
You're one to talk. You're just standing around in the open doing nothing, bitch.
Cowardly? They're blocking ground still. Said they didn't want any grounded ponies up in their business. Listen up, buddy. Don't. That's exactly what Chrysalis and the others want. More fighting. We know you're scared. We're here to help. So you better fix this! Yeah!
Considering that they're telling this to the ponies that have pretty much been saved their asses for literally 9 seasons, and as much as I want to rant about that, it does make sense, considering, like I said, considering that Cozy, Tyrek, and Chrysalis have been doing this for a while now, it kind of makes sense. As much as I want to get irritated about it, it does make kind of sense.
Probably is worried.
So essentially they figure out that Twilight is at the Crystal Empire, since really at this point that's pretty much the only safe haven left in Equestria, as they reunite with Twilight, who is pretty much at her lowest point right now.
I got away. I've been searching every book, scroll, and spell for a way to rescue you and stop Chrysalis, Tyrek, and Cozy, but I haven't found anything. I failed. You come up with something. We can't save Equestria without you. You all escaped without my help. You didn't need me then, so why would any pony need me now? We don't think friendship, shut down. Every pony in Equestria is so blinded by fear they can't remember what friendship is. Nothing we do makes any difference.
Yeah, so this is seriously how tough this finale is on Twilight, because this is essentially reaching to her breaking point, that the confidence that she's been slowly building over the course of the season since Sombrance defeat, now with essentially the three villains practically taking over Equestria and basically Discord giving them false hopes, has practically shattered Twilight's confidence, where she just can't seem to find a solution to get out of anything. And we see the effect on this take the toll on her and how it negatively impacts her.
They're still freeing together, and it's not like things could get any worse.
And the famous last words, thanks to Rainbow Dash, the Wendigos return!
Haven't we learned never to say that by now?
We've been doing that for 9 seasons in Spike, and people still do it. And considering that Scootaloo said it like literally 3 episodes ago, we're doing it again. So yeah, the Wendigos are back because of all the hate, and, well, we hear this.
The Wendigos! This is a hard-core Eve story.
Creatures made of wind that spread cold and misery across the land to punish ponies? Seems pretty real to me.
Yeah, I wonder if that pony probably took advice from the characters of Marvel.
Let the Pegasi deal with this. There's nothing we can do except hide.
Yeah, so everybody's pretty much in a blind frenzy except for Sandbar, as we then cut to Cloudsdale, where unfortunately they can't control their magic.
They're on their right. We can't rely on those snooty unicorns for any help.
Build up the cloud bank. We'll try to block it.
What about every pony down below?
What? I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that because it's like, it's basically a young Pegasus who says that, but it sounded like he just went through puberty. What, did his testicles drop earlier? I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh at that. It's so hilarious. Oh, this high-stakes finale gave me something to laugh about. I can't help but crack a smile at this. Anyways, we then cut over to the school of young gifted students where the unicorns are all held up.
Protect ourselves. It's all we can do.
And essentially, obviously, see the side of the Wendigos naturally freaks out Twilight even more. And normally this wouldn't be the best time for her Twilighting, but given everything that's happened in this 2-parter, it is absolutely justified. It is essentially, we see all the stress pile onto Twilight and how it's reaching her breaking point.
You want the truth, Twilight? Bad things happen. No matter what you do, there's never going to be a time when everything's perfect.
And what Applejack just said is true. Like, even nowadays, the reality is that bad things are going to happen, no matter what you do, but it all depends on how well you manage it. That's really what ultimately is what's going to get you through the day.
But that don't mean you quit trying. What if I make things worse? Ever since the last ritual day I was taking over, I've been gaining confidence. Then I find out it's all a lie. Equestria's been falling apart around us and I didn't even notice. What kind of princess did that make me? I'm scared.
It's this kind of talk really goes to show that how this has negatively affected her, and you just want to give her a hug because she's been gaining all this confidence over the course of the season, and with all of this happening, it is absolutely shattered. And you feel so bad for her. But luckily, she still has her friends to get her back up on her
They
hoof.
probably knew more about being scared than anybody. Thanks to all of you, I've learned that I'm less scared when I'm with my friends. If we're facing impossible odds, we're facing them together. It's what we always do, darling. But we're on our own. We have no idea what to do. That's true pretty much every time something terrible is about to happen. We don't have the elements of harmony anymore. How can you all be so calm about this?
Because even if you don't believe you can do this, we do. We believe in you. In us. The truth is, all our lives wouldn't be the same if we hadn't met. We're better off because of our friendship with you. So when you say you haven't made a difference, that's just not true. You've made a big difference to us.
Thank you. Sometimes these the Princess of Friendship is the reminder that there's more to the magic of friendship than rainbow lasers.
That part is pretty good.
We still need a plan. That sounds like the pony I used to fold sit for. Count us in. No, you need to stay here and protect Glory Heart. If we don't, if things don't work out, she's Equestria's last hope.
So I guess it definitely makes a lot of sense of what Twilight said in the first part, is that essentially the Crystal Empire is their last line of defense, and that Glory Heart is their last hope. And basically, Cadence and Shining Armor are getting sidelined in this finale.
Okay, 3 of our worst villains have taken over, powered up by ancient magic. Every pony in Equestria is so scared and divided that the Wendigos are circling, and it's up to us to fix it all.
What are we gonna do, Twilight?
The same thing we do every time, Pinky. Try to save the world.
Oh, no pressure, but it's gonna be awesome.
Every prisoner is safely in their...
So we cut back to the villains who already put everybody back in their prison, but it seems that the Wendigos are starting to take an effect on them.
I'm not hunting any ponies down in this weather. Can't we magically get rid of them and warm things up?
I don't think we should. This could work out quite well for me.
You mean us?
The harsh weather is the final blow to break the pony's spirit. Once Equestria is a frozen wasteland, we'll use our magic to destroy those windy beasts. Ponies will be so grateful they'll do whatever I want.
The Wendigos are ancient magic. It would be unwise to leave them unchecked.
And considering that Tyrek has been around for the longest time of the 3, he definitely makes the most sense when he says that the Wendigos aren't able to be controlled. And pretty much this goes back to what was shown earlier, is that despite the fact that these 3 were able to successfully work together and cripple pretty much almost everyone in the Equestria, they're basically still at each other's throats, and that they're about to ready to turn on each other as a second thought. But soon they end up seeing the main 6 come on out, and basically they're ready for what's going to be a pretty kick-ass fight scene.
You know we're here? Let's say they have an idea.
This is going to be good.
That bell has Discord Celestia and Luna's magic inside. If they use it against us,
Discord's magic is so chaotic, he's the only one who can use it.
You just can't accept that you were beaten before you even realized there was a fight. Can you?
Oh yeah?
Tough talk from the guy who's lived too long.
You know what, might as well...
can't beat us if we never give up. As long as I have my friends by my side, I'll put my faith in friends.
Can we get on with this, please?
So after Cozy fires a pretty epic Sailor Moon blast, the main 6 essentially devise a plan, and it's the perfect time to kick this off.
Sweet! I'll grab that bell in 10 seconds!
No, we're the distraction. They're gonna get the bell.
Come out, wherever you are.
There!
And we basically get, as I said, this is how this finale goes all out, with literally everybody facing off against each other. Like I said, not since Twilight Kingdom have we gotten the finale this epic. We even get to see the bit of humor of Pinky trying to distract Chrysalis as she is so easily angered. But essentially they see the ruse thanks to Chrysalis, but eventually that they try to get the bewitching bell as hard as they try to get it. And we see Spike standing up for Rarity as they try to hold back Chrysalis as best they can. But essentially the main 6 are essentially cornered, especially when the villains end up getting Spike.
Well, the dragon's wings get plucked.
And they end up threatening to rip Spike's wings off. That's how serious this finale's got. And Hotshot, can you call out this joke right now?
Oh, great. You'll sacrifice your partner or lose the weapon gag.
Yeah. So yeah, with no other option, and Twilight asks the villains to release Spike, which they surprisingly do so.
Magic of friendship is your biggest weakness. A fitting end to your pathetic story.
I don't know how long you lived, but you're the perfect example of a pain-in-the-ass old man.
But just when it seems like all hope is lost, a barrier forms around the main six, and... First of all, they brought Tempest Shadow back, but essentially all the races come back to help out the main six. So, to our three villains, so Cozy Glow, Tyrek, and Chrysalis. So they all essentially rush in, bum rush the three villains as they bring the main six to safety, and basically we find out.
You know those long lectures about friendship you need in school?
We basically then find out that all of the young fillies, not just the young six, but the two side characters, were able to basically get the crowd around them and get a speech of what is most important, starting with Sandbar with the Earth Pony.
Truly a heartwarming eve. We can defeat the Wendigos together.
You really think if we all sing a couple songs, everything will be fine?
It's not just singing that saved the founders of Equestria. It's what it represented.
Earth ponies, unicorns, and Pegasi becoming friends. We learned at Twilight School that friendship is the most powerful magic there is.
Focusing on our differences keeps us divided. Villains and creatures like the wind.
I'm sorry, I can't help but chuckle at this kid's voice. It just cracked me up. But yeah, essentially with all the teachings that the Young Six has learned, they were able to unite all of the races together and essentially get back the magic that they need.
More creatures who know about friendship, safer we'll be.
We told you had it all figured out.
So essentially, after a few comedic moments, Twilight essentially approaches to our three villains and gives us a pretty epic speech, while also giving us...
Always be darkness in the world, but there will also always be those who find the light. The Pillars knew this. That's why they created the elements of harmony. The elements showed me and my friends how strong our friendship could be. Together we work to bring harmony to Equestria. But there will always be more to do, which is why we teach others about the magic of friendship. Others who will continue our mission after we are gone. Now I truly understand. The elements were just symbols. The real magic has always been right here. And the more who understand how powerful friendship is, the stronger we will all be. Together.
And it really is an amazing feat to see. Seeing the Pillars basically come up as the first partners and creators of friendship, with the main six being in the middle, and then the shots of the young six coming up, being the next generation to essentially lead Equestria into a new dawn for friendship. And we get a pretty epic shot of essentially getting all the magic together from the Pillars, the main six, and the young six to form a powerful rainbow blast to destroy the Wendigos. Oh, and because I never made this joke, in the 9 seasons I have reviewed this joke, this is the perfect opportunity for me to make this joke.
This is fast, isn't it?
Yep. So,
Take the rainbow, motherfucker!
yeah, in the 9 seasons I've been reviewing this show, this is the first and only time I will make that joke. So because of the destruction of the cracks in the Bewitching Bell, pretty much everybody's lost their powers.
You think friendship will save you? We will always return. Nothing.
Yeah. So because you're ranting about how you think friendship defeated you, Chrysalis, in the words of Cao Cao,
The very fact you do not understand is the reason you have lost.
yeah, that basically describes it right there. So then the giant cupcake lands on top of them, and we find out that Discord doesn't have his chaos magic, but instead Pinky.
Is Discord's magic from the bell? How do you feel?
Tingle, itchy, also like...
I can transform the cosmos so everything is made of icing!
Perhaps maybe I should...
So Discord ends up taking his magic back and basically proves that Pinky is the only person that can control Discord's magic. And after getting Celestia and Luna their magic back, they tend to our three little villains.
Isn't a punishment worthy of all you've done?
Well, a good old-fashioned beatdown is my stance, but Discord has a better solution.
Oh, that does seem fitting.
May I help, please?
And even Discord helps. And eventually, because of all the evilness they've done, the only logical conclusion is that Chrysalis, Cozy, and Tyrek are now turned to stone, just like how Discord was beforehand. Now, normally I would probably bitch at the fact that, well, we never truly learned Cozy's motivations and why exactly she was evil in the first place, and how a severe punishment like this is happening to a child, but because I haven't made this joke in the longest time, I think this joke is appropriate of seeing the fall of Tyrek, Cozy, and Chrysalis. So, God, I haven't used that joke in a long time.
Together forever. I can't think of anything that they would want best.
And probably somebody should be on standby to get a sledgehammer and smash this fucking statue before those three cause any more shit. But yeah, Equestria is now saved for good this time.
Sent you to Ponyville. I had high hopes. When you became Princess of Friendship, I knew I made the right choice. But nothing could prepare me for how proud I am right now. Equestria is definitely in the right hoods. You are ready.
Yeah, so we definitely do see that Twilight being able to handle the situation like this, they're basically ready. So rather than getting on with the coronation, they actually go by to Pony Joe's back in Canterlot.
Something we need to do first. Host apocalyptic donuts. Interesting choice.
And what is interesting about it is that not only is this just a way for them, for the 6 of them, well, 7 to hang out, but this is actually a callback to how they got together in the Season 1 finale in The Best Night Ever, where they all met up at Pony Joe's in The Best Night Ever, the finale of Season 1. So this is basically like a full circle moment for them.
I know. But there's going to be plenty of time for all the challenges and struggles and adventures to come. For now, I just want to spend a quiet moment with the 6 best friends I've ever had.
Well, mostly quiet.
Like the end of an era. Or the beginning of an even more awesome era.
And yeah, hearing that line, obviously when the episode first came out, it is very prolific, as since Friendship is Magic ended, it definitely felt like the end of an era, where basically we were pretty much ending the 2010s animations and going into the age of 2020's cartoons. And we did get like a lot of amazing cartoons like Amphibia and the Owl House, just to name a few, and we've been getting them more along the way. But essentially the exchange and the meta humor feels rather permanent, given that now that we're nearing the end of Friendship is Magic, at least for me, because the show's been off the air for almost 5 years now, it definitely felt like the end of an era. So that's very prolific for them to say.
All I know is whatever comes next is going to be perfect.
How do you know that?
With you guys by my side, how could it not?
Very prolific. So that was the ending of the end, part 2. And holy shit, I wish I should have watched this episode when it first came out. This was kick-ass. Really, there's nothing else I can say that I've already said about the first part. Basically, while this entire scene was essentially one giant action scene, it is an action scene that gets my adrenaline pumping so high. Like I said, not since Twilight's Kingdom have I gotten this much adrenaline from a season finale. Well, technically not. Honestly, there's really not much to complain about when culminating with everything coming out of part 1. It basically gives us tremendous payoff where we see the side effects of how Twilight felt with all this pressure, seeing the villains come up and come at in one of the most epic ways, and we get basically an Avengers Infinity War Endgame style ending that makes it all the more sweeter. Honestly, now that I can safely say it, honestly, the ending of the end, despite how ridiculous and redundant the title is, I think I can safely say that this is the best episode of Season 9, and I think with how high the stakes were, I think this might be my favorite finale. I think Twilight's Kingdom has finally been dethroned. I still love it though, but yeah, this basically is a finale that culminates everything, where the build-up and the payoff is absolutely satisfying, and there is really nothing I can say that I can complain about this episode, other than the one nitpick with Discord that I mentioned in the last part. So, yeah, honestly, I'd probably have to give Part 2, The Ending of the End, an S rank. So because of that, with Part 1 essentially getting an A, and Part 2 getting an S rank, this finale perfectly balances out to an A+. So yeah, the final ranking overall for The Ending of the End is an A+. And regrettably, we have done it. I have finally reached the end. I have been reviewing these episodes for 11 years, and I've finally hit the breaking point, and I'm actually about to finish the show. Yeah. So, next time is going to be the final review of the final episode of Friendship is Magic. Next time we are going to be looking at The Last Problem. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.